Hello everybody and welcome back to Cryptic Pages. This is my second video, and in this video I'm going to go over what I've acquired in August through thrift shopping and what I've acquired ordering online. So I'm going to start with what I found at the thrift shops, which I was very lucky this month. I'm going to start first with this one, which is Adam Neville, So No One Gets Out Alive. And I was lucky to grab this at a Goodwill store. This was only $2.50, I believe. Yep, $2.50 for that. So I'm really excited to get into it. Looks like a pretty thick book. I've never read anything by this guy before, but I've heard some good things about him. I heard some of his books can be really intense, so we'll see how that goes. Next is Spirit Wood by Robert Masello. And this obviously has to do with some type of cults, pagan worship. This one's pretty hard to find. I was surprised when this popped up in my local thrift shop. So I really grabbed that one. That one looks to be really interesting. So that's the Spirit Wood, and this is a pocketbooks edition. And there you go. Here's another author that's getting harder and harder to find out in the wild, in the bookstores, used bookstores, thrift shop. Pretty lucky to find this one. Ruby Jean Jensen, Night Thunder. I haven't read anything by her either. People seem to like her stuff. They want to collect her books. They go for quite a penny online. For collectors, this is a Zebra Books edition, which is the only edition. So most of her books are only put out by Zebra out in the 80s. Mid to late 80s, and this one exactly is from actually 1995, so this might be one of her last books that she put out by Zebra, because I know after that Zebra pretty much tanked and was done with. They had put so much out in the market with horror back in the 80s, they saturated it, and they kind of gave horror a bad name with their tacky covers, with their skeletons on them, and some of the books were good, some were not. I mean, you have to really find a good one. So she does have a reputation, so a lot of people seem to like her, and that's Night Thunder. Next one would be another Zebra book. This is Earth Blood by James Kisner, right there, which is a very nice cover. You know, typical for your 80s horror. This one, hopefully, you know, will live up to his other book, which, you know, was average. I only paid, I believe, $2 for this, so we'll see how it goes. So that's Earth Blood by James Kisner. Okay, and the last one I found from the thrift shop was Robert R. McCammon and Mystery Walk. I've not read this one by him. I have read a couple of his books, which I did enjoy. Something to do with Southern Gothic, maybe, with a little elements of horror and mystery. That's Mystery Walk. And this is a pocketbooks edition. There's the back. Again, I only paid a couple dollars for these books, so really good deal. My local thrift shop, which is Savers. Try to hit there on Mondays. Everything is 50% off. So if you're looking for books, you're going to really score if you find something. Normally the books there are $3, so half off. So you're really saving a lot of money. So I tend to hit these Savers on Mondays when I can, so I can see what pops up. And I've been really lucky at Savers, finding a lot of hard to find paperbacks. Now this was an interesting one because I happened to go to my public library. They do have a section where they are selling books or books they're trying to get rid of. They have a small room. And I will happen to find this one, which is Mongrels, which is Stephen Graham Jones. I have heard of him. This was popped up sometimes in my recommended for Amazon. I believe this is about werewolves, coming of age story. Now, take a look at this, uncorrected proof. So I went to go pay for this, and the lady said, well, we're not supposed to sell this. This is an uncorrected proof. This is not for sale, like a promotional copy. So guess what? I was able to get this book for free. Brand new book. Looks like it's in brand new condition. There's the back. Really interesting artwork. Again, it's about a coming of age story, werewolves, family of werewolves, and free. Did not pay a cent for that. So there you go. The next stack I'm going through is Thriftbooks. I tend to buy from them. They do have a lot of books that I am looking for. And I was able to find a few here, which were at a good deal. So I'll show you the first one, which is Hubie Cave, The Lower Deep. Hubie Cave was quite prolific in the 80s. He had a lot of books dealing with occult and voodoo. A lot of his books took place in Haiti. And this one, I'm sure, has to do with on the Caribbean, some type of village with voodoo, something to do with the ocean. So that looks really interesting. I like that cover. This was published by Tor, one of my favorite publishers back then. This is the front. There's the back, and that's Hubie Cave, which is the lower D. Next one was one I've had on my list for a long time, and I finally ended up getting it, which is called School Days by Robert Hughes, which is a very nice cover there, almost like a zombie type of person walking around with bloody eyes. This has to do with some type of mad scientist in a college doing experiments on the students. Yeah, so this is an early 80s book. This is from 1982, and I've had this on my list for a while. Finally purchased it through Thriftbooks, which was I got a good deal on it. It's published by Ace Charter. There's the back. And again, that's School Days by Robert Hughes. Okay, the next one is an author I have heard of, Anthony Izzo. I've not read anything by him. He has quite a few books. This one's called Evil Harvest. And this was published by Pinnacle, which did quite a lot of books in the 80s and 90s. They had some books that came out after the 2000s, which I was surprised they were still publishing horror. This one came out in 2007, believe it or not. Mass Market Horror from Pinnacle in 2007. That's Evil Harvest by Anthony Izzo. He has another book called Cruel Winter. Has a white cover on it with some animals. It's a snow scene. That looks to be interesting too, but good deal from Thriftbooks. It's only cost about $3, I believe. There you go. The next one is called The Epicure by H.R. Howland, I believe. Now this one I did read about, I'm going to say about 3 years ago. And I was really surprised how much I liked it. Don't judge a book by a cover, obviously. This is very plain looking cover art. You know, it doesn't scream anything lurid or violent, but this is actually about a young girl, a doctor who's Dr. Bennett Sykes. He's a member of an elite society known as the Epicureans. So, and the Epicureans have an ancient cult, and they do have a yearly ritual that they do, which consists of preparing a nice dinner. So I won't go into further about that, but this was really intense read, The Epicure. I plan on reading this one again. And this one also came from Thriftbooks. This is from Berkeley Publishing. There you go. I recommend this one. This deals with suspense thriller, has to do with cannibalism, actually. But really good read, Epicure. Okay, and then the next stack is going to be books I've acquired from the Facebook group, Books of Horror. I've exchanged books. I bought books from other members and traded books also. So here are some books I acquired from there, which is the first one is Al Sarantonio and the Boy with the Penny Eyes. This is Tor Books also. And then this one is definitely 80s. This came from April 1987. Interesting artwork there. I really like that. Boy with the Penny Eyes. There's the back. So the next one is a movie tie-in, Bless the Child, by Kathy Cash Spellman. This is the artwork from the actual movie, which came out, I believe, late 90s. Really good movie, actually. It's about a devil cult. They want to take this girl. They believe she has good powers. They want to bring her over to their side. And Kim Basinger is in that. That's her right there. That's the grandmother of the girl. And they try to rescue her from this evil cult. It's like a police detective thriller, horror elements thrown in. This book actually came out before the movie. This came out after the movie, so that's why it has the movie tie-in picture on there. That's the back. And this was published by Pocket Books, and I believe this was 90s. Actually, 1993 is when it originally came out, which was way before the movie. And then this version came out year 2000. So I believe the movie came out in 2000, so that's why this one came out. But I'm really looking forward to this one. This looks really interesting right there. Okay, the next one is a classic I've had on my list for a long time. This is The Search for Joseph Tilly, and this is by William H. Hallahan, and I believe this is one of the oldest books I own. This is by Avon Books, and it's got that red tinge there, so you know that's an older style book. I believe, let's see, this is actually published originally in 1974. This Avon edition is from 1977, so this is probably one of the older books that I own. It's got a lot of great reviews. It's deemed a classic. So it has to do with a haunted building in New York City, in the slums. We'll see how it goes. I mean, the back has some good reviews. It says super shocker and interesting artwork. I like that. So there you go. Search for Joseph Tully. Next one is Stephen Gallagher, Valley of Lights. This was published by Tor. Also, I have so many Tor books. I need to do a video just on my Tor books. And this, I'm not really sure what it's about, but it did catch my attention. This came from an auction that was going on in the Facebook group, Books of Horror. So I was able to grab this one, really good price. Looks to be in really good condition. Not too long of a book, Valley of Lights by Stephen Gallagher. And then this one is from 1988. It is also an 80s book, David Lippincott, Unholy Morning. And this guy had quite a few books in the 80s. I've read a couple of them already. He had Dark Prism, has a nun on it, scary looking nun. The Nursery, which I read, which was pretty good. It's actually a dark thriller. The Home is another one, Unholy Morning, and I believe there's one more I'm forgetting right now at the moment. But this one has to do with a guy that runs a funeral home, and he gets involved with a woman in town, and for some reason there's strange things going on. People are getting buried prematurely. So we'll see how that goes. This one is actually printed and came out 1982. So it's Unholy Morning by David Lippincott. There you go. And then the last one was also a trade I did. This is House of Skin by Jonathan Jans. This is a trade edition paperback. I have not read anything by him yet, but he has quite a few books out. I've heard he's written some good things. I'm thinking this one has to do with some type of haunting or ghost. We'll see how that goes. This was published by Sam Hain Horror. There's the back right there. And this one came out in, let's see, 2012. So House of Skin, this was actually a trade I got from someone online, which excellent condition. Can't wait to start that one. There you go. So that is my August haul. My next video will probably be part of my collection. I'll have to do with some of the publishers that I have or one of my favorite authors. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.